But
would you like to discuss Luna a little more?
yeah, I think I would actually. Yeah,
You would?
because you know quite a bit about it. Yeah, and it's a fascinating tale.
All right, so we went through those 2 points of, okay, the chain shouldn't have been shipped, the product's too dangerous, and I forget the second point, doesn't matter. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
The more guilty Do Kwon looks, and I need to say this clearly because I was saying the opposite in the past, okay?
Yeah.
He looks guilty as fuck. Now, I'm not the jury, I'm not all this other shit, right? But when it comes to like the definition of fraud, I mean,
Actually, it would be fun because you were just so on the ground floor while all this stuff was happening. If you could just like lay it out, like just explain like I'm five, like the step, like this,
the attack? Yeah.
the actual like.
Oh, I'll tell you
this
what
thing
I was
collapsed,
doing.
Then this thing collapsed, and then this
Yeah.
thing collapsed.
Okay.
I think that'd be a fun one.
Are you aware of the spam tweets that were designed to drive panic about Luna?
I think I read about it, but no,
Okay.
tell me about it.
Hundreds or thousands of dead accounts. Or like, not commonly used Twitter accounts. All posted exactly the same message. You can still find it. It's the future of Luna is uncertain. Blah da 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 da. And
So just a bunch of like basically like some robo accounts. Were
yeah,
out
well,
there.
yeah, but it was like the exact same.
So someone had a bunch of accounts and they're just putting some FUD.
Yep.
That Terra's in trouble. The end is near.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it starts there.
And I mean, by that point, it was already clear that the end could be near. But all right, so it was 1 week long where UST was bleeding out and the chain was dying. I was sitting in front of my computer in my office. In front of me was Twitter. To my left was the Block Explorer, and to my right was the prices and 3 monitors. You could watch the tweets come, the prices freak out, but then here's the freaky shit.
But wait, but what was the connection? Because
Get ready.
Okay,
Get ready.
right.
The chain stopped missing blocks. Stop making blocks.
Okay, that's not.
All
that's
of
not
these
good.
things happened in synchronization, and it happened many times.
So who? Here's the Scooby Doo mystery.
Yeah.
Who was the person with all the Twitter accounts? But, I mean, was this a coincidence? Because people try to FUD a chain. People FUD stuff all the time.
Yeah. And then they short it and shit like that.
Yeah.
And look, the chain could have just gone down from TX volume load, and I knew this, so I checked. 6 accounts did 90% of TX volume. 6, and they're like pretty new.
And what are these transactions? Are they like?
I
moving money out
believe
of-
that they were intended to halt the chain and were intended to look like bot transactions.
They're intended to look like bot transactions. So
Yeah.
they have
And they
accounts
look like bot transactions.
that are doing a ton of TX. And this is
they
what-
did
this is
only
what-
one thing that was like not super body, which is like just the sheer amount of gas they were putting on the transaction.
And so this is the same
they spent
exploit.
millions.
And so this is basically the same exploit that you're talking about now that's still persistent in all of COD.
Yeah, the liveness fault is one thing, and then that thing that happened on the hub is just totally separate. Okay, and unfortunately, what we have is just this pattern of security issues not getting addressed. Like there were very clear consensus problems with Luna as it was dying. Anybody with like. You look at the Block Explorer, you just see huge swaths of red. Like visually, you can tell something is wrong.
So you're saying, all right, so you've got the Twitter here, and you're like, there's all this FUD coming in.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the Block Explorer, and like, oh, red. Oh, the blocks aren't getting confirmed anymore.
Yeah. And when that happens, right? So you have no new blocks at all.
Yeah.
And it also means that the Oracle, when the chain makes its next block, will have temporarily invalid price data.
Yeah, oops.
Exactly, oops. And, okay, so you asked who did it, and, a couple of people I know are like, are you trying to accuse shorters or traders? And I'm like, fuck no. Like, hear me out here. If you shorted Luna or shorted UST, congratulations. You did good. there's nothing wrong with shorting, but if you're intentionally stopping the chain and shorting and intentionally preventing other users from transacting, because there's several effects to a P2P storm. One is the liveness thing, right? But there's another, which is that the RPCs go down. You, as the attacker, can monopolize the network. Nobody else can get transactions in. Mm-hmm. Now, if we just pull up a graph of transaction volume, I mean, you can actually see when the chain stopped, far fewer transactions were put through. Well, that was like, I've talked to these people. That was people who were trying to adjust their anchor positions so they didn't get liquidated. But you know what? They weren't able to, and so it cascaded.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that's the nature of the elastic stablecoin, right? If the Oracle goes down, poof, no more stable. A dollar's not a dollar anymore.
Right. But you know what the thing is? It didn't know. And
Terra? Yeah, because the Oracle went down, right?
Well, yeah, but the chain didn't know that it hadn't been making blocks and that the Oracle price data was stale. It has no clock.
Yeah.
So, like, if you stop it for 19 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Then...
oh, I see. Yeah. I guess I didn't...
It keeps time in a way that's very similar to Bitcoin. So in the sense, like, on average, 6 seconds.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. That's a pretty glaring design flaw.
I agree strongly.
From the start.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have to...
Because all these other,
TFL
it's Oracle 101.
TFL built the Oracle. Okay. And so, like, one of the things, it's impossible to discuss this without saying, like, yo, that was really fucking irresponsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love your facial expression. I know I've told you about this before, but I think you just got it.
No. It's just the reality is just the reality of the magnitude. Because, like, developers can sit around and kind of like wax poetic about, this is a bad design or something, and like, this is an issue. But it's like, it's like we're like architects or something, and we could talk about, this is kind of a bad architecture, this is kind of a bad design, like we're building a building in Tokyo. Okay? This could be a problem.
Well, the Cosmos architecture is amazing.
But the thing is that then the promoters behind Terra said, no, this is the best design ever, and also we'll give you, I think it was like 8% APY on a stable coin, and everybody get it, and people who were just like uninformed came in. And people got wrecked. I mean, people committed suicide because of that thing. Because like how many billions of dollars were like poof, gone?
Exactly. Now the big price decline, the actual breaking of the backbone of UST, it occurred while the chain wasn't making blocks.
Oh yeah, I mean that's yeah.
Because it wasn't making blocks.
Yeah,
and
you want a blockchain. That's one of the main things that you want a blockchain to do is to make blocks.
Otherwise, it's not much of a chain, is it?
Yeah, and at the very least, you would want the application to, because it was you would want the application to stop or at the very least check liveliness.
Skip fixed this problem with their new Oracle, and it's brilliant, and I love it, and I think it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And you're right that, like, they should have defended their design from consensus faults, and they didn't. And that's a huge ding on TFL and Do Kwon. At the same time, one thing I'm really concerned about is that, all right, so let's just say it looks like Do Kwon is guilty of fraud. I feel really uncomfortable. I consider him a friend. I feel really uncomfortable making that judgment.
Yeah.
But also it's gotten really pretty shit. Like there's a lot of, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
However, the problem is that the more things that point at Do, the less reason to like look into this sequence of events. And I think that, should anybody from the state end up watching this video, and by the way, that's fine, and you can just drop a DM. I don't care. Okay? Because like something really fucked up happened here. And that's what you guys are for, I think. I hope. Maybe. We'll see. But check this out. The state. There's things that you're missing. One is that the chain was attacked, which, you know, it does look like Doe did some fucked up stuff, right? And he could have attacked it.
Oh, that is quite an assertion there.
Well, I don't think he did, actually.
Okay.
But the darkest pill
Yeah.
is, you know, he baked these flaws in and exploited that chain. And you know what? That, in any thorough investigation, should be looked at. Next.
I like to err on the side of like, just.
But this is why we have the three universes.
Because sometimes, developers just kind of, I think they were just, look, you can move fast and break things works if it's a social media network, not if it's an entire economy, and maybe they're just moving fast and breaking things.
I agree with you, and this is why I'm actually very willing to say that even though I'm fully aware that Doe could have been the attacker, I don't think so, and I also don't think TFL. I think that they had nothing to gain from the chain exploding and dying in the way that it did.
They had everything to gain by. They were billionaires.
Right.
They had everything to gain by everything working.
Yeah, it's possible though, and that possibility should be explored. Otherwise, you're not even getting into what actually occurred. But there are three universes here. I just gave you the darkest one. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me give you like So you have. What I believe happened, okay? Doe did all this fucked up stuff. People knew it was fucked up for various reasons and had various pieces of information on it. Somebody knew how to stop the chain, looked at the oracle, and killed it. And here's the problem. Doe's fucked up stuff, everything is being pinned on him, but there's this whole separate series of events that didn't involve the economy that are, look, if that was an attack, that's a felony. That's a big F felony. And I don't even think the state is aware, or maybe they are speaking to people who are wrong. Let me explain people who are wrong. People commonly will say like, oh, well, it could have just gone down due to high TX load, and those people are right. However, the fact that it was just 6 wallets doing, more or less the same thing, really kind of pins it down to, an attack.
Whether or not it was, even if it was, like, I actually I err on the side of thinking there wasn't a crime. Terra was just never. It was always a stupid idea.
This is the funniest thing and so much fun to talk about.
Yeah.
I have another friend who feels like you, and I should just let you know that in my cyberpunk heart, right? Like, absolutely, you are correct.
Like, if you want to buy this because I forked Elasticset dollar when it came out. So that's.
I don't know what Elasticset dollar is.
That was the Terra team's experiment, their first experiment with an Elastic.
One, right?
Yeah, on Solidity. It was on Ethereum, and I forked that thing and I gave it a spin there in DeFi Summers. I remember it was like April of 2020. Ethereum was crashing. COVID was, and I was looking at the Elasticset dollar. And I'm like the whole world is kind of dark. And I'm looking at Elasticset dollar. I'm looking how the Oracle works, and I get it running. And I see how appetizing it is for a developer. It's like, oh, I can just make stablecoins from nothing. And all of a sudden, I have $1 million stablecoin, $1 million of stablecoin. Like this is we're not over collateralizing. There's not gold in a basement somewhere that's backing it. It's not over collateral. It's like, oh, I just made it for. And I see I was kind of salivating at the idea of like, oh, you can just make stablecoins from nothing, but I was, banging on it with the Oracle. I'm like, but like, as soon as it was always a house of cards, it was always Jenga.